I know the question that's been keeping you up late at night. What even is an isotope? And even if I knew what an isotope was, how do I find out how many protons, neutrons, and electrons it has? Great question. I'm glad you've asked. We're going to figure that out. It starts by understanding the atom. And at the center of our atom are protons. Protons are positively charged. And what that really means is that they're attracted to things that are negatively charged, like this electron. You put this proton and electron together, and we get our very first atom. This green ring, you can kind of think of it as the path the electron follows, though in reality, electron behavior is really complicated. What element is this? Great question. If we go to the periodic table, we see a bunch of whole numbers, and it tells us what's called the atomic number. So above that H, you see a 1. That also actually tells me the number of protons. So what that means is any element with one proton is that H thing, or hydrogen. So the element we have here is hydrogen. All right, well, what if we make some changes? Let's say we take another subatomic particle, a neutral one, and we add it. That's called a neutron. It hangs out in the center of the atom next to the protons, and together they make what's called the nucleus. Well, what element do I have now? You know what? I still got one proton, and so I still freaking got hydrogen. It's still hydrogen, but it's a little different than the other hydrogen. And so we give it a fancy name, hydrogen 2. Very exciting. What happens if I go crazy and I add another neutron? Totally possible. What do I have then? I bet you can guess. It's hydrogen 3. That 3 there just tells me the number of things in the nucleus. And the only thing that can be in the nucleus is protons and neutrons. Really important to keep that in mind. And in this case, we got 3 of them. A fancy name for that number is the mass number. It's basically the number of things that really contribute to the mass of our atom, because only protons and neutrons really have a significant amount of mass. Okay, so there's a shorter way to write what element we have here. We can put a little 3 with an H. And that 3 up there, as you might have guessed, indicates the number of things in the nucleus. Then we'll tack on a 1 at the bottom. And that 3, like I said, is the mass number. And the 1 at the bottom is what we call the atomic number, or the number of protons. So far, we've looked at 3 different versions of hydrogen. We have one with 1 thing in the nucleus, 2 things in the nucleus, and even 3. Guess what? Those are all 3 freaking isotopes. So what is an isotope? Isotopes are just different versions of an element. So for example, it's kind of like you go to buy a new car and they're like, guys, the Honda Civic comes in so many different types. You got the SE, the LE, and the XE. Guess what? They're all freaking Honda Civics, but they come in different versions. That's kind of what's going on with our isotopes. These are all hydrogen, but they come in different versions. And newsflash, every single atom is therefore an isotope, because every single time you have an atom, it's some particular version. Let's take a look at a real world example. Here I have a chunk of what's called uranium ore. So I've gotten some uranium out of the earth. It turns out that about 99% of that uranium is going to be 238. That is uranium with 238 things in the nucleus. So we got a lot of protons and neutrons there. About 1% of it is what we call uranium-235. And you might be like, Dr. Morris, I don't really give a crap about this uranium ore. Fair point. But it turns out it's actually really important. In fact, during World War II, we spent $30 billion separating uranium-238 from uranium-235. We did it with these giant machines called calutrons. And at the end of the day, we got chunks of what was mostly uranium-235. Why did we do that? Well, you might know the story. It turns out we did that to make nuclear bombs. So we didn't do very productive things with it. We destroyed cities. If you want to learn more about this process, check out the video I've linked to in the description below. That's all about the development of these atomic weapons and how isotopes play a role in them. Let's take a closer look at this uranium isotope. Here I've written down it in isotope notation. Let's take a closer look at this uranium isotope. And now we'll get to that whole electrons, protons, and neutrons thing. So here I have uranium-235, and it's got the little 92 down below. First of all, let's answer the question how many protons it has. Do you remember how to do this? Well, that bottom number, remember, is what we call the atomic number. It tells us the number of protons, so just 92. The bottom number just tells you the number of protons. Very straightforward. Neutrons are a little more complicated. There's no single number here that tells you how many neutrons we have. We have to start with our 235, which is the total number of things in the nucleus. And then we have to subtract out a number. Remember, in the nucleus, we only have protons and neutrons. So if we subtract out the protons, then we're left with just the neutrons. So 235 minus our 92 gives us 143. Cool, that's protons and neutrons. What about electrons? Electrons are a little more complicated. Let's talk about charge for a second and then come back. First of all, elements with no charge written are what we call neutral. And for neutral atoms, protons and electrons are just exactly the same. So for example, in this case of uranium, we look at the top right up here and we see nothing written. That's right, nothing is written there. That's your big hint. That means that it's neutral. We'll look at a charged element in a second. And that means the protons are equal to electrons. So this one's not too bad. If our protons are 92, that means our electrons are also 92. Okay, to think about charged elements, let's return to our good friend hydrogen 3. Hi hydrogen 3, how are you doing? Has it been a good day? I forgot atoms don't talk. However, if you put a bunch of atoms together into a person, they do talk, which is confusing. In any case, let's imagine that we remove an electron from hydrogen 3. Boom. Goodbye, electron. Now it has one positively charged thing and no electrons. That makes it overall positively charged. So we write a little charge in the top right there. In this case, it's +1. That positive charge means we have more protons. So whenever you have a positive charge, you got more protons. Let's do the opposite. Let's say we had more electrons. Here's hydrogen 3 again. He still doesn't talk. Let's say we add an electron. Now notice there's more negative things, 2 negative things and just 1 positive thing. So the overall charge of this element would be negative. And so when we write a negative charge, that means there's more electrons. Okay, returning to uranium, let's say it has a +4 charge. Let's go through its protons, neutrons, and electrons again now. Protons. How many protons does it have? Well, guess what? The periodic table tells me that uranium has 92 protons. Always. So whenever you have 92 protons, you always have uranium. So they don't change at all just because you've made the element positive. The protons stay the same. We have 92 of them. Here's the golden rule. Don't touch the proton count. Don't mess with it. Just keep it the same. Okay, when you're counting protons, neutrons, and electrons, doesn't matter what you do, as long as you have uranium, you're going to have 92 protons. All right, now let's move on to the slightly more thorny question of electrons. The first thing to notice here is that this charge is positive. And remember, because it's positive, that means there are more protons hanging out in that atom than there are electrons. By how many? Well, that's where the number comes in. The number is a 4, which tells us that there are exactly 4 more protons than electrons. So we return here to our proton count. We see that there's 92 protons. And we know that that must be 4 bigger than the electrons. So we just ask, what is 4 less than 92? You guessed it, it's 88. So there's exactly 88 electrons in this uranium with a 4+ charge. All right, let's practice with nitrogen 15. You know what? Pause the video, give it a try. See if you can figure out how many protons, neutrons, and electrons there are. Then resume it. I'll tell you the answers. I'll just do it for you. Okay. Did you do it? I doubt it. I bet you didn't do it. Anyway, whatever. The protons, that bottom number, right, tells us the number of protons. It's 7. Boom. For neutrons, remember we take the top number, which we call the mass number. That's everything in the nucleus, whether protons or neutrons. And we have to subtract out the number of protons. So we just do the top number minus the bottom number, and that means 15 minus 7, which gives us 8. What about electrons? That's where we need to think a little more carefully. This element is negatively charged, and that means there's more electrons. Okay, so there's more electrons. By how many? Well, the number 3 tells us that there's exactly 3 more electrons than protons. So what's 3 bigger than that 7 protons? Well, it's 10. And so that means that we have 10 electrons. All right, guess what? I've given you even more practice. Go ahead, give it another try. I know you can do it. In the meantime, go ahead, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be making a bunch of new videos this semester. I haven't been making videos in a while. You'll want to check them out. Did you get the answers? Here they are. Boom. See you later.